Before we even begin, I want you to promise yourself something. Do not skip. Do not scroll. Do not check the comments. Because what you're about to hear is not slow classroom English. It's not the kind of English teachers read from textbooks. It's real. It's fast. It's connected. It's exactly how people speak in the UK every single day. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Most learners who live in the UK for years still struggle to understand natural British conversations when they happen at full speed. Not because they're not intelligent, not because they didn't study grammar, but because real spoken English in the UK is a completely different animal. So the question is simple. Can you understand it? Let's find out. I'm going to play a natural-style UK conversation for you. No subtitles, no slowing down. Just listen. Don't panic if you miss words. Just focus. Here we go. All right, mate, you heading down later or what? I was thinking we could pop by around 6:30. Grab a quick bite. Nothing too fancy, yeah? Didn't really fancy cooking tonight, to be honest. It's been one of those days, hasn't it? Anyway, give us a shout if you're about. Now stop. Be honest. How much did you actually understand? 50%? 70%? Maybe you caught individual words, but not the full meaning. That reaction right there, that tiny moment of confusion, that's exactly where most learners freeze in real life. But here's the powerful part. We're not going to slow it down immediately. Instead, we're going to train your brain to handle it the smart way. Listen again. All right, mate, you heading down later or what? I was thinking we could pop by around 6:30. Grab a quick bite. Nothing too fancy, yeah? Didn't really fancy cooking tonight, to be honest. It's been one of those days, hasn't it? Anyway, give us a shout if you're about. Now let's break it without killing the rhythm. All right, mate. This is not a question about being physically all right. It's a casual greeting. In the UK, all right often means hello. You heading down later or what means, are you coming later? Notice heading down instead of going. Phrasal verbs dominate British speech. Pop by means visit quickly. 6:30 means 6:30. Not 6:50, not 6:06, exactly 6:30. Fancy cooking doesn't mean decoration. It means feel like doing something. Give us a shout means let me know. And if you're about means if you're available. Now here's the challenge. I'm going to say it one more time, natural speed. This time, your brain will connect more dots. All right, mate, you heading down later or what? I was thinking we could pop by around 6:30. Grab a quick bite. Nothing too fancy, yeah? Didn't really fancy cooking tonight, to be honest. It's been one of those days, hasn't it? Anyway, give us a shout if you're about. Did it feel easier? That's how exposure works when guided properly. Not slow English, real English. Explained, then replayed. But we're not done. Round 2. Harder situation. Imagine 2 colleagues leaving work in London. Cheers for covering earlier, by the way. Absolute lifesaver. I owe you one. Fancy grabbing a pint before we call it a day? It's Friday after all. Unless you've got plans, obviously. Pause. What did you catch? Cheers here doesn't mean celebration. It means thank you. Covering earlier means handling my responsibility. Absolute lifesaver means you helped me massively. I owe you one means I'll return the favour. Grab a pint means go for a drink, usually beer. Call it a day means finish work. Notice how many meanings are hidden inside casual phrases. This is why textbooks fail many learners. They teach structure, not culture. Now listen again, full speed. Cheers for covering earlier, by the way. Absolute lifesaver. I owe you one. Fancy grabbing a pint before we call it a day? It's Friday after all, unless you've got plans, obviously. If you understood more this time, your listening muscle is activating. Let's level up. Street conversation. Fast, casual, slightly messy. Sorry, if this bus goes past Camden, or do I need to switch at the next stop? Google Maps is being a bit dodgy today. Pause. Goes past means passes by. Switch means change buses. Dodgy means unreliable or not working properly. British speakers love descriptive slang. Words like dodgy, knackered, gutted, buzzing, chuffed. If you don't train your ear for them, you'll feel lost even if your grammar is strong. Now here's something important. Native speakers don't pronounce every word clearly. They connect sounds. If this bus goes past Camden becomes, if this bus goes past Camden. Do I need to switch becomes, do I need to switch? Words blend. Consonants disappear. That's natural speech. And your ear must get used to imperfection. Now let's try something powerful. I'll say a sentence naturally, and you repeat out loud immediately. No pausing, no thinking. It's been one of those days. Repeat. Fancy grabbing a pint? Repeat. Give us a shout? Repeat. Unless you've got plans? Repeat. If you're speaking with me, even alone in your room, your brain is building reaction speed. And reaction speed is more important than perfect grammar. Now we move into a mini listening test. I'll read a short, natural dialogue. Your job is to understand the meaning, not every word. Yeah, I might swing by later. Depends how knackered I am after work. If traffic's a nightmare, I'm probably just heading straight home, but I'll let you know. Pause. Sling by means visit briefly. Knackered means very tired. Traffic's a nightmare means heavy traffic. Heading straight home means going directly home. I'll let you know is confirmation later. See how British English compresses ideas into casual phrases. Now listen again, faster. Yeah, I might swing by later. Depends how knackered I am after work. If traffic's a nightmare, I'm probably just heading straight home, but I'll let you know. By now, your brain is adjusting. That slight panic from the beginning, it's fading. Here's the big truth. Understanding British English is not about vocabulary size. It's about pattern recognition. When you hear enough real patterns, your brain predicts meaning automatically. That's fluency. Now let's simulate a cafe situation. What can I get you? I'll just have a flat white, cheers. And actually, could I get that to take away? Notice just softens requests. Cheers again means thank you. To take away instead of take out, that's British usage. Now, here's your final challenge conversation. Listen carefully. Honestly, I wasn't best pleased with how that meeting went. Felt like they were just skimming over the actual issues. But hey, what can you do? We'll sort it next week. Pause. Wasn't best pleased means not happy. Skimming over means ignoring details. What can you do expresses acceptance. We'll sort it means we'll fix it. Now hear it once more. Honestly, I wasn't best pleased with how that meeting went. Felt like they were just skimming over the actual issues. But hey, what can you do? We'll sort it next week. If you understood this smoothly, your listening level just improved during this video. Now here's the powerful realization. You didn't need subtitles. You didn't need slow, robotic pronunciation. You needed exposure to real speed, cultural phrases, and explanation without destroying rhythm. Most learners fail because they only practice clean English. But the UK is not clean English. It's blended, shortened, emotional, expressive English. So here's what you do from today. Spend 10 minutes daily listening to natural British speech. Don't translate. Don't panic. Replay, break, replay again. Then speak the sentences out loud. Your ear adapts faster than you think. And remember this: confusion is not failure. Confusion is adaptation in progress. Every time your brain struggles slightly, it's building new neural connections. Now, I want you to answer honestly in your mind. If you watched until here, did you understand more at the end than at the beginning? If yes, that means your listening isn't broken, it's just undertrained. Most learners quit at the discomfort stage, but you stayed, and that matters. Because real British English isn't impossible, it's just real. And now, you're starting to understand it. If you found this challenging but useful, that means you're exactly where growth begins. Keep training your ear, keep exposing yourself, keep speaking out loud. And next time someone says, "All right, mate, you about later?" you won't freeze. You'll respond. And that's the difference between studying English and living it.